In this video, I'm going to show you how to price up a property refurb. Now, bear in mind, every property is different. Not everything can be covered in this video. You always want to make sure you get a survey, get contractors to help with the process, but the more of an understanding you build on pricing out refurbs, the better, to make sure that you haven't overlooked anything on that next project. So as I walk into the property, I'm looking at this front door. Now, it's okay. It's not the best front door in the world, but it's working, so it does the job, so that can be kept. What we've also got here though is we've got wood chip wallpaper everywhere. So that's an absolute nightmare to remove, takes ages. So that's going to be fun for someone to have to do. So just keep in mind when you see wallpaper, it usually means in the vast majority of cases, when it comes off, you're going to need to do some replastering. And in some cases, you have to go a step further and board the walls as well as replaster. But these walls are fairly solid, so we should be okay just to take this wallpaper off, replaster it, and go from there. Internal doors, now they're okay. Once they've been cleaned and they've been painted a few times, they'll look a lot better. Although probably want to change those handles because they're a little bit old-fashioned and not ideal. Now, as we go upstairs, we can see here we've got a missing spindle on the staircase. We want to repair that. And we've got very high ceilings. So what do high ceilings mean? More work, more labour and materials for somebody to plaster and to paint and even to be taking the wallpaper off in the first place. So that's just something to consider when it comes to pricing up refurbs. There is more labour cost, more material cost involved for that process. Quick look at the fuse board, we can see inspection. So last inspection in 22, next one in 27. So we're pretty good by the looks of things as far as the date of inspection. Doesn't mean that there's no work to do in all cases, but it probably means that we're going to be okay. But we can make some inquiries, we can look to see if there's electrical testing certificates, so EICR, to verify that the electrics are in good working order. Now these windowsills look pretty shabby. So the windows themselves though, on a positive, yes, they're very dirty, need a good clean, but actually the double glazed might be all right, might actually clean up okay. So we've got more wallpaper to take off. This internal door's very grubby, but a good clean and paint might be all right. You never know. Radiators, on the other hand, I think they've had their day. So sometimes you can get away with painting them. In other cases like these, it's a case of starting again. So we're going to need to get them replaced. As we go into this room, we can see again wallpaper everywhere. And we've got this wall in particular, we've got a big hole in it, which doesn't help. Also, when we're pressing on the wall here, probably not going to see that much in the video, there's a little bit of give there. So this wall could be one that's going to need reboarding as well. So of course, if you're not only replastering and painting, once you've taken wallpaper off, that's one cost. But then if you have to go one step further and reboard before you plaster and paint, that of course adds cost as well. Although the benefit of most of the rooms in this property I've noticed is with the ceilings look all right, might get away with just painting them. So going into the bathroom, we've got a decent sized bathroom here. You might want to change the layout here so the sink's not on that underneath the window. Might want to move it onto this wall, free up a bit of space. It's actually a decent sized bathroom, so that would make sense. So it needs all new bathroom suite, tiled and new flooring. Now with this property, with a resale value, might be able to just put down some vinyl flooring rather than having to tile the whole thing. Not necessarily the preferred option for me, but it's more cost effective and that might be a better option. Loads of wallpaper again. That'll be fun for someone to take off. And we've got all this old brick fireplace. That's going to have to come out, which of course is a lot of work for somebody. The old fireplace has to come out there, all the brickwork, because that's not certainly the finish that we want to be achieving. So we've also got a sofa that ideally want to get rid of. Don't want to be paying to do that ourselves. Want the seller to be doing that. Something to consider before you start buying property. You want to get it all cleared as much as possible, if possible anyway, because sometimes when you buy at auction, for example, it's pretty much sold as seen, you've got to get rid of the furniture. But it's always worth asking. This isn't actually an auction property, but a lot of auction properties, it is pretty much, that's the case. You have to get rid of stuff in some cases anyway. So kitchen's pretty small. We haven't got a huge amount of space here to work with. Then we've kind of got the boiler here, which should really be in the corner. It might be a case of moving that. I know the boiler's only 3 years old, so that could be kept. but it might have to be moved in order to ensure a better layout of this kitchen so we can get what we need into it. And then here we've got a bit of damage here. We see the lats here falling to pieces. We're going to have to repair that, reboard it, plaster it, and get it skimmed, and then paint it as well. So there's a fair bit of work that needs doing there. So there's just some of the things to look out for when you're pricing up a refurb. That can't be, or won't be the case with every single property refurb. There's always going to be these things. Every property is different. That can just give you an idea of some of the things to look out for when it comes to pricing up. Hopefully that's been useful for you in some way. You got some value out of this video. If so, take the time to like it, subscribe to the channel, and you'll see me again in the next one very soon.